So you got the thing, the job. Maybe it was the city, the relationship. Maybe it was the number in your bank account, right? You spent years chasing it. And then one day you're standing right in the middle of it and you felt absolutely nothing. I moved to Hawaii. Girl I was freaking crazy about coming with me. A startup I actually believed in with people I trusted. Literal paradise outside my window. And after the dust settled, I was hollow. As you know, if you watch my other videos, she ended up breaking up with me and not coming, and that hurt, right? That sent me in a spiral. But it didn't change the fact that I was hollow regardless. So after I kind of picked myself up, which is a longer story, but I spent the next year chasing a different girl. Chasing, that high of chasing that different girl. And I was convinced she was the missing piece. Eventually we got together. Thought, this is it. Here we go. This is the thing that's going to change everything. A few months in, same hollow feeling. Right back where I started. And that's when something started to click that I couldn't unsee. And I want to show you it today because if you felt like this, the reason why is not what you think. And I'll also give you a 7-day experiment at the end, which I love to do because they're easy and they're helpful. And it doesn't ask you to feel happy, just asks you to feel real. So why does your brain block aliveness? So here's what's actually happening in your brain when you hit that goal that you've been going for, and why it was never going to feel the way that you thought it was going to feel. Dopamine doesn't reward the win. What it does is it fuels that chase. The moment you cross the finish line, the nucleus accumbens, which is your brain's reward center, it drops off hard. Research shows that within 24 to 72 hours of an achievement, no matter how big, the emotional high falls by an average of 70 to 80% from the peak, from that feeling you thought you were going to feel, and you felt for a short moment. 85% of goal achievers, they report satisfaction lasts less than a week. Your brain's not broken. It's doing exactly what it was built to do. Keep you hunting and not savoring. Most successful people's response to that drop, chase the next thing. New target, new timeline, same old dopamine loop. And every time you do that, you're deepening the groove. You're training your brain that aliveness lives out there in the next win and nothing else, nowhere else. I did this for years without really realizing it. I mean, a lot of us do. Most of us do. This is where the RAS comes in, your reticular activating system. It's basically your brain's executive assistant, right? It filters roughly, and yeah, I had to look this up, 11 million bits of information hitting you every second, down to the 40 or so that your conscious mind can actually process. So that's all of your input every second. It's crazy, right? It filters based on what you've told it that matters. If you spent years programming to scan for external wins as proof of your worth, it literally cannot register aliveness that doesn't come with a scoreboard. So joy that isn't tied to an achievement gets filtered out before it even reaches you, before you even get to feel it. So here's the part that nobody told me. And it's the part that actually can change things. That pattern, the I'm only worth it if I perform, if I have the thing, if I win. It is not a character flaw. It's not on you. It's not on me. It's a survival strategy. Probably worked once too, right? Maybe it got you out of a hard environment back in the day, or it earned you approval when you were young and you needed that approval badly. But the problem is it's still running right now today on autopilot in a layer underneath your consciousness, right? And it's running in a life that looks completely different. It's a completely different life that you're living right now. And that pattern running underneath your conscious is the cage. It's not the circumstances. And your body's been trying to tell you this for years. You've just been too loud up top to really hear it. You have too much going on up here. That's what your subconscious does, right? So let's talk a little bit about a pattern interrupt and how you can get from performing to actually feeling. So high achievers they're world-class intellectualizers. You give them a problem and they're going to analyze it, they're going to optimize it, and they're going to build a whole framework around it and figuring it all out. So when I say that the system that got you here cannot get you where you actually want to go, your first instinct is probably much like that. And it's to think harder about it, map it all out, make it a project. I did that too. That instinct right there is the problem. You can't think your way out of a pattern that lives below the thinking in your subconscious. Here's the interrupt. When the loop fires, when you catch yourself in the I need more, I need the next thing, I need to achieve this before I actually feel alive, and you'll catch it now that you're aware. Don't fight it. Fighting it just feeds it that much more. It's fuel. Instead, stop. Drop out of your head and find where you feel it in your body. Is your chest tight? Do you feel it low in your gut? Is your jaw clenched and tense? Your shoulders are a big one. Something, again, something sitting like really heavy on your shoulders. Just locate it, right? Just close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and locate where you're feeling it. Then name it aloud. Not I'm stressed or I'm empty, something specific. There's a tightness in my chest. My shoulders are really tight. My jaw's been locked for the last 45 minutes. It sounds almost too simple, I know, and I thought so too. But the first time someone walked me through it, it worked. And in why it worked? Because naming a physical sensation activates your prefrontal cortex. And that's the part of your brain that's responsible for conscious observation. And you probably know the parts of your brain and what they're responsible for, but I always forget as I'm going because there's so many of them and I forget what does what. So that's why I'm pointing it out. So anyway, the moment that comes online, you shift from running the pattern to watching the pattern. When you can actually watch it happen, it changes everything. So you're no longer inside of the loop. The loop's trying to happen. You're a step outside of it. You're observing it. It's like meditation to its core. It's great. And that gap, as small as it is where choice starts to live because now you know what's happening, you know what's happening, and you can choose. This is the neurotrauma piece. Most high achievers have honestly never been shown that the perform or you're worthless program isn't them, that it's just an old strategy that the brain locked in a long time ago because at some point it was the best available option. The moment you can see it running, though, you can stop identifying with it. You watch it the way that you'd watch a notification pop up on your phone. Oh, there's that pattern again. It's popping up again. Look, you don't have to delete it. You just don't have to follow it anymore, right? You don't have to listen to it anymore. And that's what finally clicked after that second time the hollow came back for me, or I'm sure multiple times before that as I was growing up, right? But the second time that I was able to notice it, after I had been coached and was getting coaching certifications and all this stuff finally started to click for me. So what does aliveness actually feel like when you've been this numb for so long? This is the part that people don't expect. It doesn't arrive in like this lightning bolt, this big flash and boom, right? You're not going to wake up one morning feeling completely transformed tomorrow and just with a smile on your face and like, hey, I'm excited about everything. It shows up small, a laugh that wasn't performed, right? So now you're out of this loop and you're actually not focused on the chase all the time. You can actually start sitting back and kind of enjoying the little moments in your life. And you have to realize this dopamine loop that's happening with the chase. But again, it shows up small. It's this laugh that wasn't performed. It's this smile and actually enjoying a conversation of this random person that you just ran into at a coffee shop, right? A moment where your chest loosens actually instead of tightening and bracing, wanting to do something because you genuinely want to do it, no matter what it is. Doesn't have to, add zeros to your bank account, and not just because it's the next logical move. These moments are really easy to miss if you're not looking. That's a reason that I like journal and I do gratitude journals and stuff like that, because you really start to back up. And in 5 minutes, you can see, wow, like this happened today. It's shit around us is pretty amazing, you guys, and we're just too busy to see it, which is exactly why the experiment works, which is exactly why this experiment to find these moments actually works. So here's your 7-day aliveness experiment. Again, I make this easy. You can always expand on any of this if you want, make it go longer, but I want this to be like kind of the minimum viable thing that you have to do to actually start feeling things, which is why these are always so easy to start. So each morning or evening for 7 days, just one sentence. What did I notice today that felt alive? Not asking for a journal, not a reflection practice, though I love journals and I love reflection practices and I love gratitude journals and visualization, all that stuff. Hey, if you want to take this a step further and actually write more things in your journal, please do. But I want this very easy for anyone who doesn't want to right now. One sentence, one data point. That's it. Some days the answer might be nothing, especially as you start out. And it's not that something wasn't there, it's just that you're still not noticing it. But don't skip those days because nothing is actually some of the most useful data that you can collect. It shows you how much your life has been running on autopilot without you even realizing it, right? Because once I started to do a gratitude journal, man, the first and this was when I was down bad after that breakup in Hawaii. It took me a little while to notice all the awesome shit around us. Something as simple as a bird landing on my porch and singing in the morning while I'm drinking my coffee. Never noticed it before. Took me a while to notice things like that. And then my gratitude journal is like only 3 things I can write down today because you realize all these little moments are very precious and awesome too. So, and then as you're going through this anyway, getting off of my tangent here, by day 5 or 6, the nothings usually start to break. Something starts to slip through. And that's when things get real. That's when you're like, wow, okay, I've been missing this. You're not trying to feel happy in 7 days, right? You're just trying to feel anything true and start to feel that stuff a little more often. And the cool thing about this or a gratitude journal, and if you go beyond the 7 days, you're going to start walking around and you're going to start seeing things in real time that are amazing that you have missed for years. So that's the awesomeness of this experiment if you keep going with it. The hollow isn't your enemy. It's the alarm going off because the old program is ready to be replaced and probably has been for some time. 1 sentence a day for 7 days. That's the whole experiment. That's all I ask here. If you want to go a little bit above and beyond, please do. I recommend that too. But minimum viable product here, 1 sentence for 7 days. All right? 1 sentence a day for 7 days. But if you do nothing else from this video, do the somatic check-in once today. Just check in. Stop. Take a few deep breaths. Close your eyes. Find where that hollow sits in your body. Your shoulders, your chest tightening, that pit in your stomach. Where is it sitting? Your jaw clenching. Those are some of the obvious ones. But name it aloud. And that single act can start the interrupt. It can start you noticing when it's happening. All right, so check out some of my upcoming videos on feeling hollow. Even though your life should be amazing, I also, go into mindset, all kinds of other stuff around this, getting unstuck, starting to feel again, live your life again. I have some really cool videos I've done recently too. Check them out. I want you to feel aliveness instead of just achievement. I want you to feel purpose instead of walking through your life numb. Because I've been there, man. I've been there. And it's not fun. And nobody gets it. So if this one landed, if any of my other ones have landed, some of my other ones hit even harder. Hit that subscribe button. Check them out. I have some really cool, really good stuff coming up. So stick with me.